Well, you guys, it's 10:01. I'm going to quit yabbering and just get serious with my yabbering. Good morning. It's Wednesday, and I'm Tammy with Fuzzy Vaughn's Farm and Sinfully Soft Yarn, and I'm going to talk a little bit about wool skin and garment contests with you. And I'm really excited. There's a whole bunch of stuff happening in the giant world. I just want to get you caught up just a little bit. Yes, fancy sheep. We're talking sheep earlier. It's like good. I don't know about fancy, but they are my my other sidekick. Actually, they're more of my husband's. He's taken a deep dive into the sheep thing, but I love it. So, little heads up, I am revamping and doing an enrollment next week for my Mastering the Art of Giant Angora course. It's going to be a 4-week Zoom course online, and it's going to start on the May 27th. So next week, I will publish some things on my newsletter and whatnot to have open enrollment. So it's not yet, but it's coming. I had an online course last year, and we had an in-person course at OFF last year, and it was a hit. So we're going to do it again. We really enjoyed it. The online course was a little different than the in-person because we were able to do hands-on, a little bit of sharing, and that was really good. The online, it's kind of hard to do that sharing, but we can do more in-depth talking about all things giant angoras, from the wool to storing the wool, how to sort it, and maintaining your giants, rabbit tree maintenance, the whole kit and caboodle. And speaking of giants, holy cow, you guys, there's so much good stuff happening behind the scenes. It's just exciting. If you haven't seen my live YouTube's number 13 explains more of the new rules with ARBA, the COD process. That's why I'm really excited. I shouldn't say the new process is easy, but it's easier. Easier? Yeah. And what I really enjoy, I'm really tickled that they really embraced the community effort, because it's no more, you guys, if you're familiar with the process, there used to be a team of 5, and it was their project and maybe their closest friends, but it was mostly them. It was a tight-knit group, and they've blown that all out of the water. Yeah, we still have the team of 5, but they're not the most important thing here. The whole community. So it's a club effort. It's a huge village effort. Everybody's involved now on these CODs. And so it just blows everything out of the water. So where we only have chestnuts right now for giant angoras, I'm imagining a whole rainbow of colors of giants. So number 13, my live video, you can go back and look at that if you haven't seen it yet. It goes into detail, kind of what we're in store for on the COD rules. Number 14, the one right after that, because I was on a roll. I still am. But number 14 goes into more of a deep dive on my plans and my intentions and where I really need your help. And today I'm going to do a call to action, a little bit different, but the same. We're drumming up, and we're continuing to stir up that enthusiasm for the giant angoras and colors, all colors of giant angoras, the rainbow. Everybody that has a giant wants a giant. You have nest box of giants. I want to see pictures and posts on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you are online. And if you can, I would love it if you tag me, because I want to see them too. Let's start showing the world our magnificent critters and letting them know what colors we have and how wonderful they are. So let's start spreading the word. If you have giants, want giants, let's start talking about it. That's your call to action this week. And another little news, since I've been inundated with inquiries I'm not selling very many. I'm just not. Um, yeah, so I'll have a new breeding, a new listing, and I'm moving everything from Fuzzy Vaughn's. It's on Open Herd. It's a fabulous web hosting site. So if any of you want, if you're looking for a web hosting site, I would strongly encourage you to do this. It's really, really solid. It's a small organization from Pennsylvania. I really love supporting small businesses, and these guys do it right as far as supporting animals, anything from mice to donkeys, you name it. So rabbits are right in there. You can have your animal listings and share that very easily. It's one of the things that saved my bacon years ago when I was going through so many rabbits during my COD process. But things are changing. I'm still doing a lot of rabbits, not quite as many, but I'm focusing on chocolatey goodies now. And also my Sinfully Soft side. And it doesn't make sense for me to maintain two websites. One of the things Open Herd doesn't do is manage or help showcase merchandise, and I'm doing more of that. And I've used Etsy in the past, and they make things easy. I like Etsy. I don't like the fees and stuff they charge, but hey, everybody's going to make a buck, right? But I'm going to move off of Etsy eventually too. So right now I'm moving off of Open Herd, moving my animals. If I have any for sale, they're going to be on Sinfully Soft. And I just posted and been testing it a little bit this week. It's been working really good. A new breeder listing for Giant Angoras. In the past, I've offered a free listing, and I'm going to continue that. But instead on Fuzzy Vaughn's, it's going to be on Sinfully Soft. So go over there. If you want a free Giant Angora listings, go over there, send me your information, and we'll get it up for you. Because when people ask me for giants, and if I don't have anything for them, the first place I'm going to send them is like, hey, check out that little tab on Sinfully Soft for more Giant Angora breeders. There you go. 2 other places that are really good for listing your rabbitry is Narvik, the National Angora Rabbit Club. They have a breeder listing, and Arba, 2 really good places. So if you want to get your giants listed, your rabbitry listed, it's free on my website. Check it out. It's really cool. I'm trying to look at my notes. Oh, yeah. We got to talk about that. So let's move right into the wool skin and garment contests. On the Narvik website, there's a little series of 3 boxes, I believe, near the bottom. And the one on the right-hand side talks about the upcoming national show. It's May 15th, 16th, and 17th. It's just right around the corner. It's, God, a month away. Holy cow, time is just flying by. So yeah, you can find the mini guide in that little box. Click on that. You can print it, save it to your hard drive, whatever you want to do with it. But I have a copy here. It's about 12 pages. Who is calling me? My God. You can tell that I'm Miss Professional over here. I didn't turn my phone off. Okay. We're back to it. Okay, where was I? Okay, on the website, print off if you want the mini guide. It has all kinds of information. It tells you when and where, all the who's and what's. And on page 6, it talks about the wool skein and garment contest. So the mail-in entries are due no later to be mailed to me on May 1st. And the information is right there on page 6. And if you're coming in person, you can hand it to me on Friday night, no later than 6 p.m., right there in person at West Coast Classic. We also have a WhatsApp group. So if you have any questions, you want to share ideas or whatever, join us on WhatsApp and we can cheer each other on, answer your questions about these entries, because it's not easy, right? But it's fun. I really enjoy the wool skein and garment contest because it's something that we can showcase to the world, our beautiful Angoras and what they do for us. They're just not beautiful on the show table. They're much, much, much more than that. So if you go on to the website, download the mini show guide and tell you everything about the upcoming national show. And the wool skein and garment contest is just one small piece of that, you guys. There's so much going on. And a little plug for Giants again. On Sunday, we're going to have a Giant Bonanza. And what's that? It's where all colors of Giants have their own special little show. And I'll have special awards. No, you don't get any points with the National Club, and you can't compete with Best of Breed and Best in Show. So they're not showable, right? But we can still show and have like a for fun class. So that's what it is. So no matter what color it is, if you want to bring your colored giant and play, sign them up for Sunday's for fun class. And then also on NARBIC's website, there's little tabs across the top, and you'll find wool skein and garment tab. Click on that, and there's several things down there you can download. And one I would recommend is the rules. It's about 18 pages. Holy cannoli. There's a lot to it. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, you guys. But if you have any serious questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me, especially on WhatsApp. We can help you out. But if you look at the rules, one of the key things, I won't go to all the items. We won't bore you with all the details. But a couple of things to remember. If you've harvested any wool, you want to submit a wool entry or a skein or something you made, it has to be made within the last year. Now, if you've been working on this shawl and you cast it off, you've been working on it for 3 years and you pull it out and you finish that last row within the last year, that counts. You can still enter it. It's for those things that we've done years ago. And it's like, oh, I think I'll enter it again, or maybe I missed it last time when I finished it. No. But we have to have it finished or harvested, that wool harvested within the last year. And don't put any business cards or markings or whatever to identify whose entry is who. The whole philosophy and the way it's run, it's really similar to a rabbit show. We don't put our rabbits up on the show table and let the judges know which rabbits are whose. So the same thing goes with our wool skein and garment entries. And one of the things that I've done is the Post-its, when I package up, like I'm working on them as we speak right now. I have some little entries and I have a few skeins and a couple other things I'm going to enter. I write a brief description of what it is and I put this in the baggie with the item. And I'll tell you why here in just a little bit. Those little Post-its save my bacon. So don't put any identifiers. Don't use anything that smells or scents, perfumes or anything when you're washing your items. And just to let you know that we will want to display your items as soon as the judging is completed. We hope to have the judging completed Friday night. So Saturday morning when we're doing our crazy showing, because there's going to be a lot of stuff happening Saturday. They'll be on display in the Narvik booth for everybody to look at and gawk at and go, ooh, how pretty. So I'm kind of thumbing through back here on the rules. On page 6, when you get it out, it talks about the different categories. And those I'm talking about the wool, the skein, the garment, and the bats. And I believe they call it processed fibers. That's bats or roll eggs, specifically bats. And the rules are critical. That goes into more details on exactly the subcategories, like the wool classes. You have, for example, English, which is A, French is B, giants are C, satins are D. You don't have to remember that, but when you pull out your rules in your entry form, you'll see where they all fit together. In English, you have your spinner's sample, which is a quarter ounce, packaged nice and neat, or a whole fleece. You can put it in a baggie, or you can be as elaborate as some of my samples that I've done. Layer them in tissue paper. You don't have to be that elaborate. Things that are just put together in a bag, a whole fleece, is just as lovely to spin. You guys know that. Me too. So the spinner sample, when you're filling out your entry form, this is also on the website. And where I used to get confused, you have your entry form and then you have your comment cards. And the thing to remember is the entry form, there's one entry form per person. So if I have 10 things I'm going to enter today, I am going to just use one entry form. And then I'm going to fill out one comment card for each of those items. And these comment cards, they come front and back. And if you can't get it to print just right, that's all right. We'll have extras at the booth. And you only have to complete the front side. The back side is what the judging and the comment person, the table writer, I'm going to call him, will fill out while we judge. So it's only the front page. So you have all these categories and subcategories, like the skeins. Let's jump to that for a little bit. You have, again, the subcategories A, B, C, D, and E. And then you have subcategories underneath there. Like for the A, for an example, on the skeins, you have 100% Angora, white or natural color. And the subcategories are 1, 2, and 3. 1 is singles, or a 2-ply, which is a fine. 2 is a 2 or 3-ply, which is a medium or bulky. And then 3 is other ply or novelty. So when you're filling out your entry form, you need to know what category and what subcategory it is. So you can put that all information on your comment card and your entry form. So I'm going to go back through the rules a little bit. So there's a whole page on each category: the wool, the skeins, the garments, and the processed fiber. And then I'm getting back here into page 10. This is the fun stuff because it starts talking about the judging guidelines. Now, this is really important for those judges. And this year, Michelle is our judge at West Coast Classic. She's done it several times for us at our local clubs for BARG, and she's phenomenal. It's going to be great. But you as an exhibitor, it's really good to know this information too. If you look at these rules, I compare it to the SOP in the rabbit world. When we're showing, we as exhibitors need our SOP so we know what the judges are looking for. So this is your SOP. It talks about how the points are calculated for each subcategory. That was something new that they just started this past year. You can get 100 points per item. And then they have excellent, good, fair, and poor. And then they have categories density, texture, balance and condition, and presentation for the wool. And then they have other subcategories for skeins, garments, and bats. So when you go to the next page, it will go into more detail on the wool. What does density mean? And what does texture mean? And what does balance and condition? What is the judges really looking for? So it's kind of like pulling out your standard for the rabbit. What are the judges looking for when they look at the head or the ears or the wool? This will give you all the nitty gritty. It's really good stuff. And then at the very end, they have a description on how to package your wool samples. And I actually found an old video I did years ago, and I just published it this morning. You might see it on Sinfully Soft. It's how to package your samples nice and neat with tissue paper and putting it in a gallon bag. And just a helpful hint for those of you that are watching, in the video, you'll see me use white tissue paper with white wool. That was probably not the best thing to do. I've kind of learned a little trick. If I get black tissue paper or a dark colored tissue paper, and you know they have black tissue paper because they have people celebrating their 50th birthday, and that's what they use for packaging for those celebrations. Buy a small package of that for your white fiber, and then that white fiber just like bam, it stands out and it looks so pretty. And if you want to use a colored paper for one of your colored fleeces, kind of look at the color wheel and see what not only showcases the color of your rabbit's fur, but what makes it stand out and look pretty. Sometimes white is a really good choice for any of your black wool, chinchilla, anything like that. Yeah, but you can experiment with green or blues or some other colors. So white may not always be the right white one for your wool samples. So yeah, I might try to do another video. I don't know as time moves forward. But if you have any questions on the wool skein and garment contests, be sure to join us on WhatsApp. Another good place to join us is in Narbik's mentoring group. I'll be posting there a little bit more often because there's a lot of new people joining, and they're like, what is a wool skein and garment contest? What is it? Yeah, it's basically a contest. It's really similar to your fair entries when they have your entries at a fairgrounds this summer. But this is a specific contest just for our Angora goodies. And I really have a passion for it because we have the Narbik booth set up for the National Angora show, and we'll have it again at convention. And part of that booth has a display of our wool skein and garment items that people have made. The wool that they've harvested, the skeins and the garments, and people that raise other rabbits, they know that our rabbits are special, but when they get done looking at some of those items on display, they really know. It's like, holy cow, it's just gorgeous. It's pretty cool. So today was kind of a quick rundown to remind everybody about the wool skein and garment contest. Yeah, and where to find the information, where to get help. If you have any questions on filling out any forms, you can't find the forms, you're not sure where your item fits in all these categories, that can get a little fidgety too. That's all right. Yeah. And you don't have to attend. You can mail in your entries, but get them packaged, get them to me soon. That way I can take everything with me and put you in the contest. So if anybody has any questions, if not, we're going to call it short today. And the biggest thing, well, two things I'm going to ask you to do. One, post your pictures of your giant Angoras and let us know what colors you have and what colors you want to have. Let's do some more encouraging of some more breeding and sharing and loving on our giant Angoras. And two, subscribe and like my YouTube channel. That'll help encourage me to keep going and doing more stuff like this. Yeah. So heads up on future stuff. There's a lot of great stuff happening with the Giants. I'm just too excited. Who needs coffee when you think about all the fun things that are coming up? It's almost too much excitement, but I still need my coffee. So hey guys, I want you to have a great day and have fun out there. And yeah, let's see some pictures of your giants. Okay. See you later.